Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 12-year, $325 million contract with the Dodgers. Dodgers have now paid out, we talked about it a few minutes ago, $1.2 billion in contracts this offseason. So what are some big takeaways from this? Now, the obvious, the Dodgers are building a super team. We thought about this. I'll give you two things that are going to happen now in the wake of this signing. And the first thing is this. Baseball is going to be different than any of us have ever experienced it, because baseball has to change to keep up with teams being able to give these kind of contracts out. One team specifically being able to give these kind of contracts out. They're going to have to adjust, and John Palmarosi had used the phrase "a new norm," and that's kind of what it's going to be, because now teams have to realize that, okay, I can't be afraid of giving out this money. Now Blake Snell for $175 million looks like a bargain. And teams are not going to be able to shy away from this, and the salaries are just going to continue to go up, because now the Mets had signed Kodai Senga last year for 5 years and $75 million. That a year ago it was seen as, oh boy, this is a guy that hasn't pitched in Major League Baseball, and he turned out the guy was Rookie of the Year finalist, phenomenal, had the fourth lowest ERA in the game. Now, that kind of contract, oh my God, it's like looking at the Jalen Brunson contract. It's only $25 million a year. Baseball is going to change across the board. Every single team is going to have to change their attitude. They're going to have to change their strategies. You're going to see player salaries go way up. You're going to see super teams form. You're going to see other teams say, well, we can't just continue to come in low to the Dodgers. We got to find a way to do this, because any team that just quits and doesn't start signing, forget it. I mean, they're going to want to be forced to sell the team. If I can't compete with the Dodgers, I'm going to sell my team and get out, because I can't look at the Dodgers for the next 10 plus years owning Major League Baseball and me not having a chance to go get free agents. So you're going to see teams are going to be sold. Teams are going to change strategies. Baseball just changed forever with that signing of Yamamoto.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and look, they haven't won anything yet. Right? There's still that whole thing of, all right, there's October. That still needs to be navigated. I can't wait to chronicle it all here as we do broadcast live from the Fox Sports Radio studios in Los Angeles. So we'll have a front row seat for all of this. But for each team, and I think this is where the learning comes, and for better or for worse, it goes back to Steinbrenner. It goes back to some of these other teams and ownership groups that have come in. Remember when Steve Ballmer bought the Clippers and everybody lost their minds? $2 billion is nothing now, right? How often do teams come up for sale in a major marketplace and the opportunity as the business expands? And that's the larger point that I'm trying to make, is that it's not just you're running a baseball team. No, you're running a business. A comprehensive business. So it's not just, all right, butts in seats, nacho helmets to Jason Smith and his jackass buddies when they come in. No, it's the much larger picture of, for advertising and branding, marketing and sales, can you bring in players that captivate the imagination, not only locally, right, your city, but the national fan base, right? Fans in every city are going to want to see this team come through, even if it's just to boo them. Right? Even if it's hate watching, but they marvel at what's coming in, the traveling circus and this huge payroll. And then we look at from the business perspective, everybody's got to go on, and you're searching for dollars like every other business in America and in capitalistic countries and societies or individuals trying to build a business. Like, where do I find all those nickels laying around, which baseball teams have never had to do, or haven't done as effectively and efficiently as they're going to need to now in this new marketplace? Because the Ohtani deal got everybody scratching their head. People got mad over the deferred salary. It's like, wait, that was an option? Okay. And now they come back over the top here. So how are they going to make it work? Like, they don't have to open the books, but they can run seminars and sell the hell out of them for everybody of how do we go and turn over every stone to find dollars. And if you can bring in the international players, well, there's part of the equation. In this case, Yamamoto, I wouldn't be surprised to find out part of it is I've got my countryman who is going to be the guy that everybody's watching. I'm a big deal. I'm less than half the price of that guy.
I'm a bargain.
I'm a bargain
man.
compared to him.
All I do is pitch.
That,
I don't do anything else.
But they're saying he's got a big personality versus what we've heard and certainly seen of Ohtani. He's obviously got a good sense of humor when he decides to show it, as we got a little bit in the introductory press conference. But I think it's just fundamentally all front offices and all ownership groups where it was, all right, we'll get our share of the revenue from the broadcast deals. That's great. That's a good starting point and keeps you in the black. Now, how do you really push things forward? The challenge is now, and the gauntlet has been thrown.
Because look how many teams were in it on Yamamoto at the end, right? No, only a couple of teams were in it because, Ohtani was going to say, here's where I want to go. I'm taking the money. But the Dodgers were in it, obviously, for Yamamoto. They got him at the end. The Yankees were in it to the end. The Mets were in it. They were finished second. They offered $325 million. The Phillies had a Zoom call, had Bryce Harper call him. So the Phillies were in it for that kind of money.
We heard about the Giants.
The Giants were in
today,
it. They would have been able to have that kind of money.
The White Sox are the mystery team.
Yeah, well, we don't know that the White Sox. There was a mystery team.
No, they're going to claim they were in it.
We were the mystery
even though
team.
they've never spent $100 million on anybody.
Look how many teams were in it with a price tag of $325 million for a guy that's never played. This is what I mean, where baseball's going to change forever, and strategies and money. And the money's just going to get even more insane because, like I said, $150 million for a guy is going to be a bargain. It's kind of like where we are in the NBA a little bit, where, well, this is a bargain for this. Now it's, this contract, this is a bargain for this player.
Well, the NBA, we do that all the time. This guy's making what? Yeah. Wait, what? He's the third guy off the bench. He's making what? But that's the nature of the game.
But I will take you one step further because I completely disagree with John Paul Morosi. MLB owners were incensed when Steve Cohen bought the Mets and said, basically, I don't care about this, whatever gentleman's agreement we all have, we're not going to go over $300 million for a payroll. I want to win the World Series. I'm a fan. I bought the team. I'm worth a lot of money. If I can withstand paying money and I'm okay paying extra over that, then I'm going to do it. Now, he actually backed off a little bit at the end of last year because remember, he had Carlos Correa for that big contract, but it turned out not to sign it because of his leg, and they moved on. But owners were still incredibly upset, and what happened? MLB has a Cohen tax. Now, if you go up above a certain level, it's even more money because they want to stop Steve Cohen from being able to spend money that nobody else had. Okay, so now what's going to happen? That the Dodgers just in one offseason have given out $1.2 billion worth of contracts. You think the rest of the owners are going to sit back and go, wow, no, they're going to say, okay, Rob Manfred, you got to put something in place because this is not fair for all of us. This is not, and you're going to have the Rays are going to make an argument and the Pirates are going to make an argument. And the Reds are going to talk about it. And they're all going to band together and they're going to say, you got to do something to stop something like this from happening again. Nothing you can do now because a player, but you got to stop, you got to slow the Dodgers down from being able to spend all this money on teams. And I'm not saying anything the Dodgers did is outside the realm of what's, of course they didn't, but you're going to see owners saying, wait a minute, we got to stop this now. They thought they had stopped it with the Steve Cohen tax, but now obviously they haven't because the Dodgers have found a way around it or a way to say we don't care. Watch Major League Baseball. You're going to see this offseason, owners are going to get together and it's going to become a thing. This can't happen. You're going to see owners within the next 24 hours, I guarantee, go on the record and say, this is not good for baseball. This cannot happen. Something like this where one team, this cannot happen. We have to have levels of competition. We have to have teams be able to go out there with some way, shape, or form to be able to win. And this is going to be a big topic. This is not going to wait. It's not going to be, this is going to happen. And I'm telling you, next 24, 48 hours, 2 or 3 owners are going to go very public on the record with what this is all about.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out and I'm going to find between Amazon and eBay and wherever, I'm going to find 29 copies of Moneyball and I'll send them to the rest of these damn owners. Okay, watch this. You can be in the hunt. You might not get over, but you can be in the hunt. Draft well, develop your prospects. You can't play poker at this table. If you don't want to, go to the kiddies table, go buy yourself a minor league team and move on. That's what you can do. Because until the Dodgers go and rattle off a bunch of World Series wins, this is a great science project and great theoretical baseball changing events, right? It's all a theory right now. And really, for the Dodgers, it's an economic theory and a reality. We are going to spend a lot of money, and man, are we going to rake it in. We're going to rake in cash because everybody gets into it's fuzzy math, kind of like I did before, trying to spitball things in my head, which we'll get to in a minute. But the idea is, all the other owners can be mad about it. Maybe you shouldn't be playing at that table. Maybe that it's a time for a re-examination.
Yeah, but they're not going to hear that. They're going to say, no, this is what's got to happen. This is what's got to happen.
And he's got to have a spine. This would be a first. He's got to have a spine to say, this is the rule. They didn't break any rules.
Why would you say this about a deserving owner? Why would you say this? He's such a deserving owner.
They're good for baseball.
But when you're going to have 29 other owners saying, this can't happen.
So go figure out a deal locally or bring in other partners.
Wasn't
so
fair,
you have cash too.
It wasn't fair for Steve Cohen, but they did it. It's not doesn't matter. They're going to do it. There's going to be some kind of way we have to slow this down.
Well, they hate the
because
New Yorkers.
We can't. Right, but now they hate Los Angeles. Look, the Dodgers, the evil empire. We told you the new evil empire now.
Oh, sure,
and it's going to be a
with
big
two smiley
thing.
guys.
Hey,
how you surly. Right, the Mets guys they signed were at least kind of pissed off at the world.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know who this is good for?
The Dodgers.
MLB league office.
Sure.
The 29 other owners can beat it.
But that's just it.
This is good for business.
He walks in, he goes, this is good for the game. It rises everybody's boat.
But could you could say, I'm playing devil's advocate. If I'm an owner, I could say, well, it's good for the game if Yamamoto's a Yankee. It's good for the game.
But he decided not to sign there.
Right, I know. But what I'm saying is,
what are we going to say?
Teams that can have the Dodgers shouldn't have the money. They shouldn't be able to offer that after giving that kind of contract to Ohtani. There's going to be more people upset, more owners upset about Yamamoto than there is about Ohtani.
And they're all a bunch of chumps.
Guarantee.
They're all mad because their wallets aren't big enough. Get over it.